Hi, it's me. I just want to talk to you about. So I was trying to figure out how to say these things, but I didn't really know how until just a few minutes ago. So, um, I guess I am going to call it the evolution of changing your mind. And I'll start by saying that I started having things happen to me like flashbacks of past life memories and different things that I couldn't explain. When I was young, having those lucid astral dreams when I was young. Some of them were recurring, and some of them were only one time, but very impactful that I never ever forgot. I did do a video called Recurring Lucid Dreams I've had, where I talk about some of them there. I probably will just read the stories that I wrote for my book. But basically, by the time I was about 18 years old, for sure, because even at 15, I had I realized that I had manifested that trip to meet the Backstreet Boys, and that's when I asked them about aliens. I didn't really know how to address that because when I was seeing certain individuals, I recognized their mm, soul's unique power, and I didn't really understand what was going on with the whole um, Hollywood thing, and you know, I can go into that another day. But I manifested that trip at 15, and when I realized that I wasn't recognized back, like as the same type of individual, that I kind of like it's a longer story than that. Um, it kind of just faded away. Like I was like, no, no, I've got to be insane. And I kind of pushed it away. So by the time I was 18, it's 11:11. I had moved on with my life, okay, by 18. And so I just kind of pushed it aside, pushed it off as childhood fantasy, tried to grow up and just move on with things. And it wasn't until I was about, I mean, you can't really, like, it was still ongoing underneath, but I really tried to ignore it and move on as best as I could, just try to be normal like everybody else and just get on with life. So by the time I was 23, I was living here where I am, but it was in my first building. Um, and I remember I went over to my neighbors one night. I mean, we were having coffee and we were chatting, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like this woman had never said anything like this before, ever. She turned around. I don't know how we got onto the subject, but she turned around in her computer chair and she looked at me and she's like, there's reptilian beings underground and the government knows about it. She just said it like that. And I was in mid drink. This is the cup I would use for work, but I was in mid drink and I remember I was like, oh, and I just drank, because like I didn't know what to think. At that point, that was like the craziest thing I'd ever heard. Over the years with learning and studying, I realized slowly, like at first I was like, oh, you know what? Because I couldn't stop thinking about what she had said to me. Like I didn't know what to respond as, but I never forgot. And eventually I went looking, start searching for the information. And I found some stuff and I thought, you know what? There is something to what my neighbor said. It took a while, but at first I thought that was the craziest thing I ever heard. You see? Now it's totally 100% believable for me. And that, I've met people who have had experiences who I've known 100% intuitively. You can just tell because I recognize the same type of energy when they're explaining their stories, how I am with mine. I know when people are telling the truth. So I also remember that during that time, I can't remember who said this. No one's ever made anything up first. I know I'm not going first at anything. Nobody's. But so somebody else said this. But they said it only takes one to be telling the truth to make it true. So if you have 10 people standing in a line, 9 of them are lying, saying that they saw a gray alien in their bedroom, but one of them is telling the truth. Well, that makes it true. The little gray aliens are real, and this guy saw one. We don't know if it's an alien or what it is, but, because at first when I saw what I saw, I thought it was an alien. I didn't have any other reference. When I laid eyes on this thing for the first time, especially when I saw it in my room, it was like somebody threw a wrench into my brain cogs, and my brain had no files to pull from to have reference like, what is that? And you'll never know until it happens to you. I used to think, and I know I feel bad now, but this is why I just accept the karma as it comes, because now crazy is just something that we don't understand yet. Okay? Because I used to think the people who believed in flat earth or anything like it, like if I would have heard of the navigator across the ice walls even just a few, like maybe 5 years ago, I would have laughed. And I would have tossed it aside and not given it a second look and thought Claudio Nocelli was nuts. Because I used to think that. And I wasn't mean to them, but I legitimately thought that they had been through too much and broke. I did, and I treated it like a real mental illness. I feel I want to get emotional. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, but I really thought that they were mentally ill and sick, but not in a bad way. I felt bad for them. Like, yeah, of course the earth is flat. You'll be okay. I really thought that. So, I hope you can understand what I mean by the evolution of changing your mind. I knew that even if I had gone to the place where I thought all of these things were just demonic and demons and blah, 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 I knew they would forgive me. And I had to experience that. I was going to address, because I want to make one more video, because I want to talk about love. And that's another thing. I changed my mind about that too, What else? Okay, the evolution of changing the mind about the flat earth and the reptilians and, oh yeah, I wasn't really sure. Like, I had looked at tons and tons and tons of evidence, so much, of like different types of craft in the sky, UFO sightings, blah, blah, blah. I had seen so much of it, but I still really wasn't sure until I saw what I saw that night in July off the balcony here. Yeah, in 2017. I really wasn't sure. There was a time when I thought, when I thought that people who had UFO abductions and saw aliens, that they just had repressed trauma that they couldn't talk about, so they made up a story. I did. I used to be like that. And you go through this process of change. It's almost like, even I knew this, but I didn't understand how deeply intricate and individualized it is. My friend that lives in this building that helped me get the job that I have now, well, it didn't help me, kind of as a nudge from source, that's how it came through. Because she kept telling me there was no listings. I looked online, there was no listings for job postings. It didn't look like this company was hiring me, or hiring at all. And she kept telling me to call, so I did, and then I got this job, But when me and her were friends, we were just party girls, back in our early 20s. Like, we were just going out to bars together, drinking, dancing, having a good time. There was none of this. And then my friend went through what I've gone through now. We're kind of meeting up to a point where Like, I've actually lent her a few books that'll help her on her spiritual journey, because she kind of, like, she even told me, like, I kind of feel stuck, and she's kind of at the point now where she's figuring out her dream stuff. She has a couple of books. But anyway, the point is that one day, years ago, I remember I met up with her. I came over to see, like, how she was and everything like that, just catch up. And she laid out all this stuff about the reptilians, about the government, all these conspiracies. And you know what? I didn't come back. Everything comes back to you, though. So I now know how all this feels. That's why I'm not even mad. I was hurt, but now I know how all those people feel. And that's okay, because now I'm never going to do something like that again, you know? That's why um, I really don't like the whole, oh, I didn't finish my thing about my friend. My friend went through all of that before me, okay? Now we're friends again, and we're talking and all of that, and we're building back up a relationship. One day, I was having a stressful day, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. And I said, you know, because the Earth's flat, like an infinite plane. And she goes, yeah, I know. It was it was the best moment, I'll tell you. It really was. It was one of the best moments for me. Um, and you know, we don't even really talk about it that much. We don't. We talk about it very little. But the talks that we do have are meaningful. We're just enjoying life, enjoying our friendship. Um, and it was great. It was great to hear that. I wasn't sure how she was going to respond. But like everything that I've talked about, when she's done reading the book, see, sometimes I get anxiety lending my books out. Like, I'd love for her to read The Navigator Across the Ice Wall, but I think I'll just buy her own copy. Oh man. I worry about my books when they're gone. But I know that they're doing a good job. They're on a mission. Okay, I have to have faith. They'll be fine. But yeah, you can change your mind. And that's okay. You know? I think I'll talk about what else I wanted to add in, because I'm still not all that great at this, clearly. And I still um get a little bit nervous talking about some of this stuff sometimes. So I'll continue that thought next in my next one about the love thing, because it is connected. Um, what else? Is there anything else about that I changed my mind about? I think that was good. I think that's okay. I said about the 9 people lying and 1 people telling the truth, about the UFO. Oh, yeah, about this. Yeah, I mean, the being in my room on January 15th. I really didn't know. You really can't tell the difference, I'm telling you. I did not know for the longest time. Like, I knew I had to have been in some type of dream space. I knew that my physical body wasn't there, but you really can't tell the difference sometimes when you're in these uh, lucid astral dreaming states in your energy body. It's uh, and now I've just made the connection, you know, not just now, but I've said this before, about when I saw that craft and somebody was looking back at me. That's one of those people that I'm talking about in the stages of initiation, and they're probably level 3 and above, like level 4, 5, and up. Mhm. Mm. I try to tip this up, but it has a straw in there, so you gotta put it down. There's tea. Yeah, so that's that. I don't know if I've ever said these things before, but I've noticed, you know, and I don't think that anybody could have convinced me. I had to do it on my own. So that's why I know that I can't really, like, when I say I found the answer, yeah, for me, but I'm sorry if I made it seem like the answer, and then people are like, well, that doesn't fucking help me. Well, I should have clarified that as this is a truly unique journey. it's going to be different for everybody. But I'm sharing it in hopes that, like how other people have shared their stuff, how it's helped me, I just want to help. I know that I can't teach anyone anything, but maybe I can help you understand your own experiences by sharing mine. And, with what I just said, I never thought that this was going to be my life, you know? Like I didn't like I I didn't understand why I had all those memories and feelings, and like I didn't know what the word for reincarnation was, but I knew that I had been reborn into this world from someplace else for a second chance to like save the world. And I know that sounds, like I forget what people call that, but it was really genuine. Like I know that I can't, but I never expected it to turn out like this, that's for sure. I'm not disappointed. I'm actually really happy at how it's turned out. Like here I was thinking I was the biggest piece of shit ever, and I realized, that I've been doing this astral travel thing my whole life. My absolute whole life, ever since I was a little kid. Just from reading that one book that I read answered almost every unanswered question that I had. I haven't been excited about the future in a long time. So I hope that me sharing these thoughts with you, I think these things a lot, you know? I try to use them when talking with people, especially about you've got 10 people in a line, 9 of them are lying, but that one is telling the truth. That makes it true. And all these people out there that are saying that they saw this and that and this and that and this and that, even if one of them's telling the truth, holy crap, it makes it true. So what do we do? And I went from there. I mean, really, when I even first got a hold of the flat earth stuff, I watched a 6-hour documentary from Eric Dubay. I will never forget. It took all day long. I took breaks and everything, but I literally watched it all day and was thinking about it and absorbing the information. At the end, I was like, you know what? This guy has a point. There is something with the flight patterns and da 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 da. So it did get it rolling, but still there was something missing with that I didn't really connect with. So it just progresses how it's meant to, I guess. I never expected my friend to agree with me. Like, yeah, it is. And she loved the Navigator and the other books from Claudio Nocelli. She loved them. So that's it. Or I'm just going to keep rambling. I hope I made my point. Um, I hope you're well. I've had a great day. It's a happy Monday. Okay. Take care. I love you. Be well.